Hey, good evening, my friends. This is NAMM Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with what I think is a significant update on the snowstorm brewing across southern Michigan. We're getting most of the computer models from this evening in. The best one that's been working all season is running a little late, but we're still looking at the 6-hour ago run. And like I said, I think some significant changes. And for me, for my forecast and for what we've talked about on MLive, some serious concerns about where the heavy placement of snow will be and will it be that much. So let's get to it, and I'll take your questions too. Let's go through everything and see what's going on. Okay, now this is the computer model that I've liked all winter, called the GFS. Maybe you've heard of it, Global Forecast System. And again, we don't have the newest run. It should be coming in at any time, but I wanted to give you an early evening update here. So what we're looking at is the forecast. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and rain's starting to develop. And hi, Peggy from Carroll. This is 1 p.m. This is one of my first red flags, okay? It's starting to change snow over at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, 2 runs ago, this morning, it was up here, okay? So it's trending south, and it's also trending faster. This is 7 o'clock in the evening. The storm already off to the east, the back edge of the snow through the Detroit area, and then 1 in the morning tomorrow, Friday morning. And we're going to get to the snow totals here in just a moment. So what I'm saying is it's running a little faster. Let's take a look at the old run at 1 in the morning, and you can see how this little bit darker blue is a little light to moderate snow. The newer run, see how it's already moved out of the thumb? That's at the same time period, and that means it's moving faster. Okay, and by Friday morning, all out of Michigan, the old run still hanging on in part of the thumb. So the point being is, the trend here is for the first trend here is for the storm system to be moving a little faster. The changeover, now my big concern is the changeover occurring during the middle of the day, March 1st. There's still some sun up there. We're marginal temperatures. Originally, we thought that the changeover to heavy snow would occur 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it would continue until about 2 or 3 in the morning, the dark hours. But now it looks like it's going to happen in the middle of the day and into the afternoon, early evening. That can significantly cut down on the amounts of snow. There still is going to be a snowstorm, and I'll show that to you as we go through this. Okay, so here is that same model with its newest snowfall forecast. Again, we're waiting for the newest one to come in, okay? So I want you to remember that we've got to probably melt the first couple of inches of this. So when you're seeing something like 6 in Detroit, it's probably more like 4, and it's wet and it'll compact. When you're seeing 7, it's probably more like 5. So I'm still calling it a 3 to 6 inch snow, now centered over I-94, as opposed to earlier in the day, it looked like it was centered maybe over Grand Rapids towards Saginaw and the thumb. So shifting about 50 miles to the south, okay? Now, this is the next model. Okay, this is the next model that I want to show you. This is the one that I really like in the short term. It's called the high resolution rapid refresh. Means it runs every hour. High resolution. It only goes out to 18 hours. That's the downside of it, but it gives you a good feel. I really like it. Tomorrow morning, I'll really like it for exactly what we're going to have. This is the radar forecast. Okay, We're at 3 this morning, 5, 6 tomorrow morning, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. This is all rain. This is heavy rain, by the way. This is another thing we forgot to talk about because we got all wound up, and if we're going to have a March snowstorm, okay, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, snow. But remember, it's the middle of the day, so we're going to have a hard time. Jackson, I'm getting to that. I showed you a one model. We'll kind of keep summarizing, so hang in there with me. Here's my serious concern. Look at these temperatures. This is at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. 34, 35, 36. You don't have a whole ton of snow at 34, 35 degrees. 40 in the thumb. So I got some serious concerns that the bulk of the snow and the bulk of the storm is coming through during the middle of the day. I've got some serious concerns for the forecast talking to you about snow. It's still going to happen, but I think some areas are going to see a much less than what you could have seen. And I do want to emphasize that I've been prefacing that this is still in the developing stages all during the day today. Now, this is that high resolution model, and look how it has shifted the snow to the south. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 inches, again with a couple of inches of melting. Okay, and one more model. This used to be my favorite model. It's called the NAMM. They tweaked it last year, and now it's not really good until you get right up close to the storm. So, and it looks very similar to the others. So here's the radar forecast. We're at 11 o'clock tomorrow, noon, 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely still turning to snow. Now the Saginaw Bay City area on the edge of it, Grand Rapids on the edge of it, the axis of the heavier stuff shifting to the south. But again, middle of the day, daylight hours. Now let's go to 7 o'clock when it's starting to get dark. And notice the storm starting to shift east. This is midnight. So we only get about 6 hours while it's dark. NAMM, what does that stand for? North American Model. So let's look at the snowfall forecast from it. And again, too high because this model, I told you they tweaked it, but they made it too cold, so it over-forecasts the amount of snow. So you got to take a couple inches off of this, but I think this has a good placement. And I think this is what you want to dwell on when you want to know how much. Okay, cut a couple of inches off of all this, and it's a 1 to 3 inch snow through Saginaw Bay City, the thumb, down to Mount Pleasant, down to Grand Rapids. Then it's a 3 to 6 inch snow, definitely Detroit. Detroit, more into it now than before. They were mostly rain, changing to quick snow, but now they get the brunt of it because it comes during the evening and overnight. And then back to Ann Arbor and Jackson in the 3 to 6 inches. Okay? So that's your update. The big change, you always want to know about snow. The band shifting 3 to 6 inches from the Tri-Cities to Grand Rapids, shifting southward to along I-94 into Detroit. Still going to get nasty there because when you get 3 to 6 inches in a 6-hour time period, it's a heavy, wet snow that even builds up on the roads and is slushy and is hard to drive in. So you definitely got to be careful with that in the afternoon. And the northern areas, lesser amounts of snow, lesser troubles, all still with some good news that it is out of the area by Friday morning. Might be some travel troubles Friday morning early, but when the sun comes out, the March sunshine starts to melt the pavement quickly, and things will improve dramatically by the time we get to noon on Friday. So there it is. We've got just a few more questions here. What about Kazoo? Okay, let's go back to this. Kazoo, I'm going to say you're probably in that 3 to 6 inch band, somewhere in there. Chris Tajak wants to know how warm on Friday. I would say about 37 degrees by the time we get to the afternoon. Snow day for West Michigan? No, I don't think so. And so there you have it. I'll let you go now, but I wanted to give you an update for all the different locations. And of course, we'll continue to watch it for you, and we'll have more updates tomorrow morning. So right now, I'm going to sign off. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Talk to you later.